All right, we live on YouTube, studying up. I got you on voice. I can hear your sound. I got ML Billion playing in the background. And I'm about to flip through these videos so I can get this good knowledge and eat it up. It's good.
Okay,
it's
guys.
good.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
I'm making this video because
I'm DJing information. This is lovely.
Or whatever. But it's several questions on how to pick up the market and how to pick up the candles and how to set up the moving average and how to pick up the moving average.
And soon, yeah.
I know there's on the Billion Watt Academy.
Yes, sir. 2 of them.
Backgrounds, but well, you might be missing a couple of videos. So you probably haven't gone through all
on
of
the
them.
camera. All right, go.
Software. And you want to start trading and whatever.
Let me know how we.
Not a bad thing.
Do I give you? Hold on. Let me look at the FaceTime.
Answers somewhere in the videos. There's a bunch of them, so I'm gonna in a short video some stuff. So anyone that wants to start playing with the software. So actually go to FaceTime.
Yeah, I'm on FaceTime now.
Study your ass off. You should.
What do you say?
So
it's coming up.
Start practicing.
It's because Google's in a browser. FaceTime is an application on a computer.
Several times. That said, how you pick up the market? You pick up whatever market you think you're gonna be able to afford once you go live. So on every market that you choose, whatever it is, you will find there's a key here. It tells you how much money you're gonna have on the daily margin. The daily margin is the margin where the market happens on his time. Like he opened at 6 p.m. and closes at 5 p.m. on the next day. So he's working for 33 hours in a particular case. This market is the Aussie dollar, and he works 23 hours. So if you want to keep your trades open over the closing time, you gotta have $1,250. So don't go to a market that you're not gonna be able to afford and build a strategy there. Like you can do that to practice, like I'm doing, but like you gotta understand and build your strategy and prove it on markets that you're gonna be able to trade. Like for example, soybeans. Soybeans is a cheap market. He's got $303 only to trade, and if you go over the closing market, you only need $600 to keep. So you got a couple of those. Let's see how much price costs. They're all around 600, 500. Like you gotta know that cheaper markets, of course, they go with less volume maybe, and they're not gonna make you rich overnight like Michigan says, but it's a good way to build some wealth and build your account without risking all your money on markets like I don't know, Dow or ACP or other currencies that are way more expensive. So once you got your market, figure it out. Let's say we go with the Aussie. You pick up which candle. You can set up any candle you want. You gotta know that each one of these is the time you're gonna select down here. Like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 4 hour, and of course they're gonna look every time different because the lower you go with the time, the faster the candles are gonna be. So you're gonna have a way more quick answer from a 2-minute candle, an 8-minute candle, and 5-minute candle than a candle of an hour. On a 1 hour candle, you will have to wait 1 hour, couple of hours at least to confirm a change of a trend. So if this will be a 1 hour candle, like all this time will take like for a day at least 1 day or 2 to confirm the change of the trend, and then it's gonna go up. Like this would be a lot of days where you win every time, and then you will have to take some losses against you during much more time, and of course that's.
Here we go. I found a video where they teach us how to build a strategy from scratch.
From scratch.
From scratch. This is Gabriel dropping the class 6 minutes in. It's in Vimeo.
Feel like I'm taking a technical class.
You heard? You heard? I'm following, I'm liking.
Where it currently is, price wise, and again, if you just hold on to it, you know, till the cows come home at present, you would be.
Okay there, guys. I'm making this video because I'm getting several questions. I don't know why you're asking me, but whatever. Getting several questions on how to pick up the market and how to pick up.
I need a louder speaker.
And how to set up the moving average and how to pick up the moving average.
The Google Home. I'm about to get the Google Home, the bigger one.
But I know there's it's all covered on the Billion Wealth Academy background. But, well, you might be missing a couple of videos, or you probably haven't gone through all of them because you want to play with the software and you want to start trading and whatever, and that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad
and
thing.
You probably find your answers somewhere in the videos, a bunch of them. So I'm gonna try to put in a short video some stuff, so anyone that wants to start playing with the software and at the same time study your ass off, you should. So you kind of start practicing and keep watching videos and keep watching everything. Like, you should watch them several times. But that said, how you pick up the market, you pick up whatever market you think you're gonna be able to afford once you go live. So on every market that you choose, whatever it is, you'll find there's a key here that tells you how much money you're gonna have on the daily margin. The daily margin is the margin where the market happens on his time. Like, he opened at 6 p.m. and closes at 5 p.m. the next day. So he's working for 33 hours in this particular case. This market is the Aussie dollar, and he works 23 hours. So if you want to keep your trades open over the closing time, you gotta have $1,250. So don't go to a market that you're not gonna be able to afford and build a strategy there. Like, you can do that to practice, like I'm doing, but like, you gotta understand and build your strategy and prove it on markets that you're gonna be able to trade. Like, for example, soybeans. Soybeans is a cheap market. It's about $303 only to trade. And if you go over the closing market, you only need $600 to keep. So you got a couple of those. Let's see how much, right?
Yeah, I got you.
They're all around 600, 500. Like,
what's your phone number?
Know that cheaper markets,
I'm
of course,
FaceTime.
they go with less volume, maybe.
Text message me.
And
oh shit! Can I message the phone number? The text your phone number.
Reach overnight, like Mr. Brian says.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
It's a good way to build some wealth.
274
accounts without risking all your money on markets like I don't know, Dow or ACP or
414
other currencies.
414. What's the first number?
So once you got your market figured it out, let's see, we go with the
9014.
You pick up which candle. You can set up any candle you want. You gotta know that
414.
Each one of these is
9014.
Select down here.
No,
like,
no.
5 minutes. This is the 15 minutes.
980.
4 hours.
980.
And of course, they're gonna look
274.
different.
274.
The lower you go,
94.
with the time, the faster the candles are gonna be. So you're gonna have a way more quick answer from a 2-minute candle or an 8-minute candle, and 5-minute candle than a candle of an hour.
Yeah.
On a 1 hour candle, you will have to wait 1 hour, a couple of hours at least to confirm a change of a trend. So if this will be a 1 hour candle, like,
it work?
All this time will take like for a day at least 1 day.
Yeah, yeah. Champion.
You.
There it is. We live.
There we go.
There we go. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
All right. Oh, I need to get you a Haitian flag. ASAP.
Yeah,
ASAP.
man.
Flag.
I'm gonna have to order some.
I'm gonna get it sent here before you get here, or it'll be here when you get here.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, yeah. But a lot of. I got you because I've been watching the Haitian. I got you. Hold on, let me pick it up.
Look.
Oh, it's not. Hold on. See if you can mute your mic because it's not pulling up the. Let me see if I can get both audios.
It's muted.
Yeah, muted. It muted the build a strategy from scratch.
You said what?
It muted the entire build a strategy from scratch.
What?
So the computer's choosing the the FaceTime audio over the.
Oh. Hey,
Yeah.
look. Just call me. Just call me then.
All right, mobile. I got your audio.
All right.
Okay, so it depends on whether you're deciding to trade forex or whether you're deciding to trade futures. Every market has different contract values. So what we'll do is let's jump over to the chart right quick, and we'll just kind of go through each chart, and I'll show you what what's the monetary value that having an account in order to execute trades. So we'll start with wheat, and we'll go over to the key. So you go to the key. With wheat, your initial margin is $962, and the day margin is $481. So the real area that matters is your maintenance margin. So you need to have at least $875.
Fuck. Start over.
Yep.
All right. Ring, ring, ring.
Software is the ability to be able to hold one position for long extended periods of time. And again,
You can capture
True.
moves, you can capture them. So, like finding a good moving average here
Yeah, it hung
might
up as
be
soon as
impossible
the FaceTime went off.
without a
audio came
strategy
on.
that captures all those spikes and what.
So I got you billion in the background.
$10,000 for you. Why cut the trade off at $2,000? And for most traders, they cut the trade short because of the emotional capacity that comes with trading as a whole. So,
Bunch of them. So I'm gonna try to put in a short video some stuff. So anyone that wants to start playing with the software and at the same time study your ass off, you should. So you kind of start practicing and keep watching the videos and keep watching everything. Like you should watch them several times. But that said, how you pick up the market? You pick up whatever market you think you're gonna be able to afford once you go live. So on every market that you choose, whatever it is, you'll find there's a key here that tells you how much money you're gonna have on the daily margin. The daily margin is the margin where the market happens on his times. Like he open at 6 p.m. and closes at 5 p.m. on the next day. So he's working for 33 hours in this particular case. This market is the Aussie dollar, and he works 23 hours. So if you want to keep your trades open over the closing time, you gotta have $1,250. So don't go to a market that you're not gonna be able to afford and build a strategy there. Like you can do that to practice, like I'm doing, but like you gotta understand and build your strategy and prove it on markets that you're gonna be able to trade. Like for example, soybeans. Soybeans is a cheap market. He's got $303 only to trade, and if you go over the closing market, you only need $600 to keep. So you got a couple of those. Let's see how much rice costs. They're all around 600, 500. Like you gotta know that cheaper markets, of course, they go with less volume maybe, and they're not gonna make you rich overnight like Mr. Brilliant says, but it's a good way to build some wealth and build your account without risking all your money on markets like I don't know, Dow or ACP or other currencies that's way more expensive. But once you got your market figured it out, let's say we go with the Aussie, and you pick up which candle. You can set up any candle you want. You gotta know that each one of these is the time you're gonna select down here. Like this is the 5 minutes, this is the 15 minutes, this is the 4 hour, and of course they're gonna look every time different because the lower you go with the time, the faster the candles are gonna be. So you're gonna have a way more quick answer from a 2 minute candle or an 8 minute candle, 5 minute candle than a candle of an hour. On a 1 hour candle, well, moving average and how to pick up the moving average and a lot of stuff that I know there's it's all covered on the Billion Wealth Academy background, but well, you might be missing a couple of videos, or you probably haven't gone through all of them because you want to play with the software and you want to start trading and whatever, and that's not a bad thing. And you probably find your answers somewhere in the videos, and there's a bunch of them. So I'm gonna try to put in a short video some stuff, so anyone that wants to start playing with the software and at the same time study your ass off, you should. So you kind of start practicing and keep watching videos and keep watching everything. Like you should watch them several times. But that said, how you pick up the market? You pick up whatever market you think you're gonna be able to afford once you go live. So on every market that you choose, whatever it is, you'll find there's a key here that tells you how much money you're gonna have on the daily margin. The daily margin is the margin where the market happens on his times. Like he open at 6 p.m. and closes at 5 p.m. on the next day. So he's working for 33 hours in this particular case. This market is the Aussie dollar, and he works 23 hours. So if you want to keep your trades open over the closing time, you gotta have $1,250. So don't go to a market that you're not gonna be able to afford and build a strategy there. Like you can do that to practice, like I'm doing, but like you gotta understand and build your strategy and prove it on markets that you're gonna be able to trade. Like for example, soybeans. Soybeans is a cheap market. He's got $303 only to trade.
Soybean under the
And
market.
if you go over the closing market, you only need $600 to keep. So you got a couple of those. Let's see how much rice costs. They're all around 600, 500. Like, you gotta know that cheaper markets, of course, they go with less volume maybe, and they're not gonna make you rich overnight, like Mr. Brian says. But it's a good way to build some wealth and build your account without risking all your money on markets like I don't know, Dow or ACP or uh, other currencies that's way more expensive. So once you got your market figured it out, let's say we go with the Aussie, uh, you pick up which candle. You can set up any candle you want. You gotta know that each one of these is the time you're gonna select down here. Like, this is the 5 minutes, this is the 15 minutes, this is the 4 hour, and of course they're gonna look every time different, because the lower you go with the time, the faster the candles are gonna be. So you're gonna have a way more quick answer from a 2 minute candle, an 8 minute candle, 5 minute candle than a candle of an hour. On a 1 hour candle, you will have to wait 1 hour, couple of hours at least to confirm a change of a trend. So if this will be a 1 hour candle, like, all this time will take like for a day at least 1 day or two to confirm the change of the trend, and then it's gonna go up. Like, this would be a lot of days where you win every time, and then you will have to take some losses against you during much more time. And of course, that's what a strategy is about. How much you're gonna be able to lose, how many days are you gonna be able to lose, and like, if this would be a 1 hour candle, this will be a lot of time where you won, and you will only have to take a couple of days to confirm a new trend and start another trend and make money there. And how to pick up the moving average? That's another good question. I don't know. Like, you just look for a moving average that makes sense on the price. Like, you don't want a moving average. First of all, you add your moving average here, chart overlays, you go to moving average, and you go there. So the software got the autopilot function. Okay, so autopilot, what he makes is he makes all the trades based on your strategy, and he takes an indicator, the indicator you set up as a source of what to do. Like here, you see those white arrows. He's taking those signals to know what to do. Like, when a new signal happens, he changed whatever he was doing, and he started going short in this case. Okay, he came along here. Suddenly, our price crossed our moving average, telling him that there's a new trend. He goes down and he starts going short. You start making money, and then he confirms, like he's doing right now. He goes again through the moving average, and maybe there's a new trend confirmation here, maybe not. But what he's gonna do is he's gonna, once this signal is fired, he's gonna start going long and close your previous trade. So how you pick up the moving average? You gotta pick it up based on what your strategy is. Like, a moving average close to the price on a quick candle. Like, this is an 8 minute candle. It's kind of decent. But if I put up 500, for example, our price is way more far from the moving average. Like, you gotta understand that moving average takes in account previous moves. So biggest the moving average is, our average is gonna be wider, and the line is gonna be further and further from the price. So you may ask yourself what to pick up or when to pick up a big moving average and when to pick a small moving average is gonna be based on your strategy. Like a 900 here, the price stays a long time above the moving average, but you're gonna understand that when you have a big moving average here set up, like let's say I don't know, put whatever you want there. You gotta know that it's gonna take him a long time to get to the moving average and change that trend. So all this is a loss, okay? Because every time the software opens here, it's gonna take the previous signal, which is a long, and he's gonna be firing you long, 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 and you're gonna be losing because our moving average is way too far from the price. So until we get there and we change our trend, it takes him some time. And what is worse is that he changed the trend and then he came back. So if you don't have something here to protect yourself, you lost like 3 days on a row. So you gotta build your strategy. If you want your moving average there, because it makes much more sense, you gotta build a strategy that protects you from losing as much as you can. Like this, with the stop, with the jumps, with the time restraint, whatever you make, you're gonna start finding out. And a way fast to make to see if our moving average makes sense is just to look at it on the back test, like you get some perspective and see if he gets masked too much with the moving average, like Mr. Brilliant says. If the moving average crosses through the candles too much, it's not a good moving average because you gotta see that every time that happens, that the moving average goes through the prices, he's gonna fire signals that the trend may be changing, and you're gonna lose here, you're gonna lose here, you're gonna recover yourself here. Like we like to call it choppy market. When you get into choppy, you're done, unless you protect yourself with some strategy. So this scenario here, a moving average, someone may like it, I don't. So let's say you go to your moving average, and let's say you pick up a 200, for example. It's this case, and that's how you look like for here. You see that the moving average goes, it gets into some choppy there. Maybe you can put it a little bit better. Uh, 50. Like you gotta take those losses on the choppy. You can mark them there, and it's impossible to avoid them. Like if you avoid them here, you're probably gonna get them there. So sooner or late, you're gonna get screwed by the choppy. But if you know how to protect yourself, you're good. Maybe 150 is way too close. You're gonna know what you gotta take in account. Talking about the moving average and how to set up all this stuff is that with small candles, like 5 minute, 8 minute, 4 minute. I don't know if I said it. I think I did. Your moving average usually can work with I don't know, with high moving averages like 100 and stuff, because you're not gonna be a week losing before you get through the moving average. It's gonna take you only a couple of days based on your strategy. And if you go with a, let's say, 50 minute or maybe 60-minute candle, every one of those candles is 1 hour. You probably want, I'm just talking about what I've seen. Don't take it for granted and go and do it and then lose all your money and blame me. But you probably want a moving average that goes very close, not that close, but maybe 150 or something, 100. You gotta look for yourself. You see, that's not a good moving average. On an hour candle, you're gonna find some markets that they just keep above the moving average a lot of time. So your moving average wants to be close to the price because on the 1 hour candles, when he wants to reverse his trend and change the position and change whatever he's doing, it's gonna take him a lot of time for you, for the software to fire a new signal and change your position. So if you find a market that goes like for a week or a lot of days on you, but and when he changes, it goes against you a couple of days, it's okay. But if that happens a lot, you're gonna lose a lot because the 1 hour candle is a lot very slow for you to notice what's going on. So that's how you find your strategy. You define how much time you want to wait to see a change of trend, or much time you want to be in and out of the trend, and you set it up. About the other indicators, bulls and bears, and there's a lot of them. Like I don't use them; they're good, but you need a know a little bit more, I think, and be more have a bit more experience to capture the ticks they make. And this is like the easiest way to set up your strategy. And you can do this on any market. Like we're in the Aussie right now, but we can go to the, let's pick up, I don't know, wheat, and well, let's not pick up wheat because it's taking a position right now and it may get messy. You just pick up whatever you want, or you think it makes sense. Like this is the franc. Let's put a moving average. Let's take out bulls and bears so we don't get messy with the signals. Now let's take out volume. Let's take out the wheel so we can watch moving average. And we're in a 15-minute candle, so maybe we can go, let's try 300. And you see how the moving average goes clean and through the prices. This is not bad because in this case, he goes up a lot, he goes down some distance, he goes up a lot, he goes down, he goes up, he goes down. So with jumps, with a jump setup, if you don't know what it is, we're gonna go through it in that video. You can capture all those moves, you can capture them. So like finding a good moving average here might be impossible without a strategy that captures all those spikes and bottoms. Like whatever you put is gonna go most of it through the price. If you go with a huge moving average, you will find he goes up a lot, above the moving average, and he's going up every time. But you gotta take in account that there's a lot of bottoms here, and without a correct setup, you're gonna lose every time there. So once you got set up your market and your moving average and you like it, and you say, okay, I'm gonna go with this, and try to play this market, try to build a moving average, you gotta you gotta choose a timing where you want your software to fire, to turn on and turn off. Like if you don't know what we're talking about, we can set up our autopilot some certain time where we want him to start. So that day we tell him, okay, I want you to start every day at 6 p.m., every day at whatever time you choose. And on that day, you go and run based on what's happening in the market. So he will take the moving average as a reference right now. Okay, so he will wake up every time we tell him to wake up. And he will look to the moving average and he will see where he is. And in this case, he's gonna take It takes every time the previous signal done. Because we are entering every day the market based on the previous signal. Okay, so our previous signal it's going long. So every time he wakes up, let's say we choose his time, that is 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. Every time he goes from 6 p.m. The last one is here. So if you wake up at 6 p.m., you take your money calculator here. Money calculator, that's what he is, calculates money. So, yeah, somebody asked me that. What's a money calculator? I didn't knew what was. So, what you're gonna calculate, how I do it is I go, first I use his, first I look at his market timing, like 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. So I wanna know where he went. And like on a quick look, you can see that you will lose here because you went long, and he dropped and fired a new signal. Like you gotta draw your money calculator from where the arrow appears to the next candle. There's where you put your moving average, your money calculator. Sorry, don't put it here like I used to do. I thought that the signal happened and he closed the trade. No, you gotta wait to the next candle until he closes the old trade. So here you will lose 8 ticks, and then he fired a new signal. That's what is live right now. So far, if you're in this trade, you're 26 ticks positive on you. So now we go back to every market. Shit. So we go back to every day. This is how Mr. Billion teach you to. And then like on a quick look, you can see that you will lose here because you went long, and he dropped and fired a new signal. Like you gotta draw your money calculator from where the arrow appears to the next candle. There's where you put your moving average, your money calculator. Sorry, don't put it here like I used to do. I thought that the signal happened and he closed the trade. No, you gotta wait to the next candle until he closes the old trade. So here you will lose 8 ticks, and then he fired a new signal. That's what is live right now. So far, if you're in this trade, you're 26 ticks positive on you. So now we go back to every market. Shit. We go back to every day. This is how Mr. Billion teach you to make it. Go back to every day. He closes there. Grab your money calculator to where he opened. He opened there. This is another day we lost. See why you gotta be very smart when you put your strategy based on a moving average that is so far, because there's a lot of times that he goes against and for you. If you take only the open to the close at basic, gonna lose. You lost there. So go back to this market. Blah blah. Sorry, I think it's over here. 6666666. Yeah, it's around there. Win you had there. I didn't pick up the easiest market to draw and show you, but whatever, we're in it. So again, we go back, blah blah blah, 6 candles there. That was a loss. and then you go and go and go and go back every day. So once you're done going back every day, it's gonna look like this. Pick up something I got already built. Let's say this one. It's gonna look like that, like crazy stuff. But once you're done back with your analysis, where were you? We were with the front. Sorry. Once you're done with your analysis, going back, you without a strategy that captures all those spikes and bottoms. Whatever you put, it's gonna go most of through the price. If you go with a huge moving average, you will find he goes up a lot, like he's up above the that moving average, and he's going up every time. But you gotta take in account that there's a lot of bottoms here, and without a correct setup, you're gonna lose every time there. So once you got set up your market and your moving average and you like it, and you say, okay, I'm gonna go with this and try to play this market, try to build a moving average. You gotta find, you gotta choose a timing where you want your software to fire, to turn on and turn off. Like if you don't know what we're talking about, we can set up our autopilot some certain time where we want him to start. So that day we tell him, okay, I want you to start every day at 6 p.m., every day at whatever time you choose. And on that day, you go and run based on what's happening in the market. So he will take the moving average as a reference right now. Okay, so he will wake up every time we tell him to wake up. And he will look to the moving average and he will see where he is. And in this case, he's gonna takes every time the previous.
We're gonna run it back, make sure we get that 100. I want this in my body.
Go to
I want
your
this
moving
ingrained
average.
in my DNA.
Let's say you pick up a 200, for example.
So 200 is the what?
In this case, and that's how you look like for here. You see that the moving average goes, it gets into some choppy there. Maybe you can put it a little bit better. 50. Like you gotta take those losses on the choppy. You can mark them there, and possible to avoid them. Like if you avoid them here, you're probably gonna get them there. So sooner or late, you're gonna get screwed by the choppy. But if you know how to protect yourself, you're good. Maybe 150 is way too close. You gotta know what you gotta take in account. Talking about the moving average and how to set up all this stuff is that with small candles, like 5 minute, 8 minutes, 4 minutes. I don't know if I said it. I think I did. Your moving average usually can work with I don't know, with high moving averages like 500 and stuff, because you're not gonna be a week losing before you get through the moving average. It's gonna take you only a couple of days based on your strategy. And if you go with a, let's say 50 minutes or maybe 60-minute candle, every one of those candles is 1 hour. You probably want, I'm just talking about what I've seen. Don't take it for granted and go and do it and then lose all your money and blame me. But you probably want a moving average that goes very close, not that close, but maybe, I don't know, 150 or something, or 100. You gotta look for yourself. But you see, That's not a good moving average. On an hour candle, you're gonna find some markets that they just keep above the moving average a lot of time. So your moving average wants to be close to the price because on the 1 hour candles, when he wants to reverse his trend and change the position and change whatever he's doing, it's gonna take him a lot of time for you for the software to fire a new signal and change your position. So if you find a market that goes like for a week or a lot of days on you, but and when he changes, it goes against you a couple of days, it's okay. But if that happens a lot, you're gonna lose a lot because 1 hour candle is a lot very slow for you to notice what's going on. So that's how you find your strategy. You define how much time you want to wait to see a change of trend or much time you want to be in and out of the trend, and uh, and you set it up. About the other indicators, bulls and bears, and there's a lot of them. Like I don't use them; they're good, but you need a know a little bit more, I think, and be more have a bit more experience to capture the ticks they make. And this is like the easiest way to set up your strategy, and you can do this on any market. Like we're in the Aussie right now, but we can go to the, let's pick up, I don't know, wheat.
Oh yeah.
And well, let's not pick up wheat because he's taking a position right now, and you may get messy. You just pick up whatever you want or you think it makes sense. Like this is the franc. Let's put a moving average. Let's take out bulls and bears so we don't get messy with the signals. Let's take out volume. And let's take out the wheel so we can watch moving average. And we're in a 15-minute candle, so maybe we can go, let's try a 300. And you see how the moving average goes clean and through the prices. This is not bad because in this case he goes up a lot, he goes down some distance, he goes up a lot, he goes down, he goes up, he goes down. So with jumps,
19
jump
views
setup, that if you
between the
don't
two
know what it
videos.
is, we're gonna go through it in that video. You can capture all those moves, you can capture them. So like finding a good moving average here might be impossible without a strategy that captures all those spikes and bottoms. Like whatever you put is gonna go most of through the price. If you go with a huge moving average, you will find he goes up a lot, like he's up above the moving average and he's going up every time. But you gotta take in account that there's a lot of bottoms here, and without a correct setup, you're gonna lose every time there. So once you got set up your market and your moving average and you like it, and you say, okay, I'm gonna go with this and try to play this market, try to build a moving average. You gotta find, you gotta choose a timing where you want your software to fire, to turn on and turn off. Like if you don't know what we're talking about, we can set up our autopilot some certain time where we want him to start. So that day we tell him, okay, I want you to start every day at 6 p.m., every day at whatever time you choose. And on that day, you go and run based on what's happening in the market. So we'll take the moving average as a reference right now. Okay, so he will wake up every time we tell him to wake up. And he will look to the moving average and he will see where he is, and in this case, it's gonna take it takes every time the previous signal done. Because we are entering every day the market based on the previous signal. Okay, so our previous signal it's going long. So every time he wakes up, let's say we choose his time, that is 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. Every time he goes from 6 p.m., uh, the last one is here. So you wake up at 6 p.m., you take your money calculator here, money calculator, that's what it calculates money. So, yeah, somebody asked me that. What's the money calculator? I didn't knew what to answer. So, what you're gonna calculate, how I do it is I go first. I use his first. I look at his market timing, like the 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. So I want to know where he went, and like on a quick look, you can see that you will lost here because you went long, and he dropped and fired a new signal. Like you gotta draw your money calculator from where the arrow happens, appears to the next candle. There's where you put your moving average, your money calculator. Sorry, don't put it here like I used to do. I thought that the signal happened and he closed the trade. No, you gotta wait to the next candle until he closes the old trade. So here you will lost 8 ticks, and then he fired a new signal. That's what is live right now. So far, if you're in this trade, you're 26 ticks positive on you. So now we go back to every market. Shit. So we go back to every day. This is how Mr. Billion teach you to make it. You go back to every day. He closes it there.
Here we go.
Drop your money calculator to where he opened. He opened there.
Here we go.
This is another day we lost. You see why it's you gotta be very smart when you put your strategy based on a moving average that is so far, because there's a lot of times that he goes against and for you. But if you take only the open to the close, that basic gonna lose. You lost there. So go back previous markets. Blah blah blah. I think it's around here. 6666666. Yeah, it's around there. That's a good win you had there. Like I didn't pick up the easiest market to draw and show you, but whatever. We're in it. So again, we go back. Blah blah blah. 6 candles there. That was a loss. And then you go and go and go and go back every day. So once you're done going back every day, it's gonna look like this. Pick up something I got already built. Say this one. It's gonna look like that, like crazy stuff. But once you're done back with your analysis, where were you? We were with the front. Sorry. Once you're done with your analysis going back, you will have a pretty much idea what he does every day. So one thing you can do is instead of setting up the autopilot to turn on when he opens, maybe you can find another time where he every time goes, like in the majority of the time goes on you, like you don't take so many losses. So there's some markets that they go crazy in certain hours, and you're gonna find that if you open like 1 hour later or 2 hours later or 4 hours later, you're protecting yourself from big movements and crazy stuff that's going on. So that's all you gotta do is, for example, here, chart overlay, and you put time zone, for example, so you can see what happened. Like when London opened, maybe he goes on you every time. Well, it didn't happen here, but you gotta analyze like all the month, and if on London time he went on you 20 times and went on you 10 times the previous 2 months, it's okay. Like maybe you can go and pick up this one and try to figure it out. Like London time here is making a lot of sense. Uh, you can analyze whatever you want, but that's gonna be like a little bit more once you're a little bit more on the road and start finding some certain times and certain markets that they work better. But the easiest way is to draw lines from where he started to where he closed, and that way you'll have an idea of your strategy based on your moving average making any sense. So in the next video, I'm gonna show you quickly how to protect yourself from these movements, how to calculate jumps, because that's a lot of questions on that. How to protect yourself jumps, how you set up jumps, how the jumps work. Well, you can, first of all, you can Google that shit, but I'll show you in a quick video so you can, we continue with this stuff so you can see how you protect, how you try to fight the market and take all the ticks you can from him without losing a lot or without risking so much or going safer and smarter than that. So thanks.
Got the majority of your. What's that up? Take it, enjoy it. Take one, enjoy it.
Did I check out any other books?
So continuing with the previous stuff.
The profit.
Once you got figured it out, all your movements, your average movements a month and whatever, you can do two things. Either run your strategy based from open to close or from signal to signal, whatever you choose, or you can start getting deeper, so protecting yourself from several movements that happen. If you go to Area Pilot here and you just want to rock the market on whatever he makes, I'm gonna take it. And from open to close, whatever I am standing when he closes, I'm done. So you just gotta set up your time here. We set the Aussie open 8 and close 17. And we enter the market immediately. That means that the autopilot fires and you trade every time he opens. And you go there and blah, 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 whatever happens, boom. So continuing with the previous stuff, once you got figured it out, all your movements, your average movements a month and whatever, you can do two things. Either run your strategy based from open to close or from signal to signal, whatever you choose, or you can start getting deeper, start protecting yourself from several movements that happen. Like if you go to Area Pilot here and you just want to rock the market on whatever he makes, I'm gonna take it. From open to close, whatever I am standing when he closes, I'm done. So you just gotta set up your time here. We set the Aussie open 8 and close 17. And we enter the market immediately. That means that the autopilot fires a new trade every time he opens. And we go there, and blah, 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 whatever happens, boom, you fire your autopilot. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna wake up here, he's gonna see your moving average. He says we should go long because we're above. Let's go long. You're fucked up here. He closed your trade with an 8-6 loss. He opens a new one, and by now you will be winning money. But you don't know what he's gonna do when he closes. So that's like pretty much, I don't know, gambling. Unless you know very well the market and you know that he will go most of the times on you. You will find out this when you go back and make your analysis. But you will tell me, okay, so here's where the question comes a lot, and you should be watching all Mr. Billion's videos because they went through this a lot of times. But whatever.
Watch every single one of them.
You will tell me, okay, but here there's a huge movement that happens that went on us, and we didn't collect all that money. Like, if you didn't, you're fucking retarded. So that's why this amazing tool called Jump Stops is invented. So I'm gonna explain it like retarded proof, so we don't have to go through it. Mr. Billion explained it 1,000 times, but here it goes. What if you don't nothing about trading like I do? you will know that when you get into a trade, you have a position. Okay, you take a position, you open a contract, whatever. Don't complicate it. It's like we take a position based on what we think is going to happen. So if I open a market and let's say I'm here, okay, the first thing you do, or you may do, is you set up your losing margins. So I say, okay, when let's say this is a selling position. So when I get in here, I want to sell. But what happens if the market goes against me and starts going up? I want to have a limit set up. You don't want to leave that to whatever it happens, because you can wake up and you're going to be broke. That's what's going to happen. So you want to set up a limit. Let's say you want to afford, you can afford $300 on a loss, and but you want to take whatever it happens. You want to take the 600. Okay, so this is a 2-1 radio risk. Like you're risking $200 to get $300 to get $600. So that's pretty much the average of every trade if you're smart. You can even have a 3-1 radio, whatever. But this is like basic. So you're here, and this is what you tell the market. Willing to lose this, willing to win this. If you're buying, your loss will be down and your limit will be up. So this is basic. Like, you can set up in this particular trade that, and in this particular case, if you wanted to go until here, we opened this trade and we said, okay, I'm willing to lose this case. Remember, we're using the moving average as a reference of what we're gonna do, tell the software. So the software is gonna wake up here and he's gonna tell and he's gonna see where the moving average is. Our moving average is down, so therefore we're gonna he makes gonna take it from open to close. Whatever I am standing when he close, I'm done. So you just gotta set up your time here. We set the Aussie open 8 and close 17, and we enter the market immediately. That means that the autopilot fires a new trade every time he opens, and we go there, and blah blah blah. Whatever happens, boom, you fire your autopilot, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna wake up here. He's gonna see your moving average. He says we should go long because we're above. Let's go long. You're fucked up here. He closed your trade with an 8 ticks loss. He opens a new one, and by now you will be winning money. But you don't know what he's gonna do when he closes. So that's like pretty much, I don't know, gambling. Unless you know very well the market and you know that he will go most of the times on you. You will find out this when you go back and make your analysis. But you will tell me, okay, so here's where the question comes a lot, and you should be watching all Mr. Billions videos because they went through this a lot of times, but whatever. You will tell me, okay, but here there's a huge movement that happens that went on us and we didn't collect all that money. Like if you didn't, you're fucking retarded. So that's why this amazing tool called jump stops is invented. So I'm gonna explain it like retarded proof, so we don't have to go through it. Like Mr. Billion explained it 1,000 times, but here it goes. What if you don't nothing about trading like I do? You will know that when you get into a trade, you have a position. Okay, you take a position, you open a contract, whatever. Don't complicate it. It's like we take a position based on what we think is going to happen. So if I open a market and let's say I'm here, okay, the first thing you do, or you may do, you set up your losing margins. So I say, okay, when let's say this is a selling position. So when I get in here, I want to sell. But what happens if the market goes against me and starts going up? I want to have a limit set up. You don't want to leave that to whatever it happens because you can wake up and you're gonna be broke. That's what's gonna happen. So
That's what's gonna happen.
you wanna set up a limit. Let's say you wanna afford, you can afford $300 on a loss, and but you wanna take whatever it happens. You wanna take the 600. Okay, so this is a 2-1 radio risk. Like you're risking $200 to get $300 to get 600. So that's pretty much the average of what
Congratulations.
of every trade here. You can even have a 3-1 radio or whatever, but this is like basic. So you're here, and this is your this is what you tell the market. Willing to lose this, willing to win this. If you're buying, your loss will be down and your limit will be up. So this is basic. Like you can set up in this particular trade that, and in this particular case, if you wanted to go until here, we opened this trade and we said, okay, I'm willing to lose this case Remember, we're using the moving average as a reference of what we're gonna do tell the software. So the software is gonna wake up here, and he's gonna tell, and he's gonna see where the moving average is. Our moving average is down, so therefore we're gonna go long. So in this case, we nailed it. So when he opens trade, this is what the software tells the market. I'm willing to lose 25 ticks, but if you get to 48 ticks, I'm out. Okay, so in this particular day, that's what would happen. He never went down. He could get close, but not close the trade. Go up, 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 48 ticks, boom, we're out. We made $600 a day. Okay, but you may find when you go back a lot that maybe 48 is a number that he doesn't hit it so often. So he may get close a lot of time to your limit, and then he drops and you're screwed. He may get close and drop. Like your limit is not making any sense. That's why we back test a lot and we draw all the lines to see on average where he's moving. But if you set up your limit very high, you got another tool that's called jumps. But what the jumps are gonna make, you put it here in the autopilot, okay? Here you have your jumps. Jumps are that. They make your stop jump. So let us explain it. You may find that you want to capture or you want to protect yourself from certain things that happen. For example, a lot of movements that goes on you and you didn't collect all these ticks. So this tool jump, what he makes is the following. You can tell the software, okay, that if he gets to a certain point, let's say if he gets to 28 ticks, we find that 28 is a movement that he makes very often and then drops or very often and then cuts his above or whatever. If you find that there's a number that makes sense where the market goes every day or with a lot of frequency, you can find your job. So you tell them, we tell the software on the autopilot that if he goes 28 ticks, we want him to move this stop here where we are right now. Okay, we tell the software, okay, we're good, but if you go 28 ticks on my favor, I want you to move your loss. I want to move this stop loss situation. I want to put it closer because I find that a lot of times he goes on 28 ticks or 30 ticks or 25 ticks and then he drops, but he may keep growing. So I want to save myself and I want to move the stop to, let's say, 5 ticks. Okay, so it does it here. If market moves 28 ticks, you move it there. Move my stop to break even, plus or negative, whatever ticks you got. You can put your stop on negative, like -3, -4, or put it on break even, above break even, and you're protecting. So what it would happen if he hits 28 ticks and then he wants to drop, you're protected. Okay, you will never lose there. You will make less money. You will make like 5 ticks. That's gonna cover the fees of that trade, but you're safe. Okay. Then you can tell them to trail, for example, 1-on-1. What that means is that if he keeps moving up, okay, pim, 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 every time you make a tick, I tell the software that I want him to move my stop. 1 tick, 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 tick. So our stop situation is following our trade, our position. So in that scenario, if we're trailing like he's doing here, let's say he goes up there and our stop is following there. There's a 23 separation ticks from our price to our stop. Okay, so you will be around here when that happens. Your stop gets there. So whenever he comes back, ping, 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 he wants to go back and kick your ass. He can't. He gets out with a 55 ticks. That's a lot of money. Okay, so that's what jump is all about. You just gotta find the correct jump, because many times if you leave you say, okay, so with the jump I protect whatever I want. No, because if you will have certain scenarios where, for example, he goes 30 ticks, he drops like crazy, and then he goes up 56 ticks. If he makes this a lot, and you trigger your jump here like we put it on 25, okay, you will get cut out when he drops, and you would have been able to catch that huge move. Like if that happens, not if this doesn't happen a lot, you don't care, but if it does happens a lot, you will get out every time. Like here he goes up straight, you're good. And there's certain situations where your jump, you want to keep it far from your position, so you leave the market breathe, or you leave him make his moves and don't get cut out. Like for example here, if you get in there, your jump is too tight and he pulls back, you make that pullback. If you jump and moves your stop too close, you don't let him make this move. Okay, this is what he needs in order to grow. Okay, if your jump is too close, he gets stuck there and you're out way too quickly. It might work on your strategy because you want a strategy to be safe, and you say, okay, I don't care whatever he makes, I'm good with 20 ticks. Fine, that's gonna work. But if you find he makes long moves, you wanna just give him some space, like here, for example. Like you don't want your jump so close that he can't make this and take some strength to grow. Like yeah, now you wanna cut it out here. You don't wanna get cut it out here, depending on your strategy and depending on the money you wanna risk. So you will see that you got a second jump stop. Mr. Billion says we shouldn't be messing up with that unless you know what you're doing. I'm not gonna show it. I'm just gonna tell you what he does. The second jump is just that. It's a second jump where you tell the software that if he makes another huge move, you wanna protect yourself way more. So you can leave him some air on the first jump. You can be far away from where he's doing. Like your jump can be 20 to 1 or 20 to -5 or 30 to 5, whatever you want. On that range, you let him move. Okay, you tell him you do whatever you want on that range, but once you cross, let's say 40 ticks, I want all what you're doing. Okay, I want all your money. So that's where the second jump stop gets in play, where you told him, okay, I'll let you do whatever you want here, but hey, if you cross, you gotta add, let's say 20 ticks to your previous 28. So in this case, he has to cross 48 ticks. So what you tell him is, hey, do whatever you want on your 0 to 28 ticks. I'll give you some space, but if you go on 48 ticks, man, I want you all in. Once he hits those 48 ticks, 28 plus 20, you want to protect, let's say 45. And then, dude, if you move 1 tick, I want 2 ticks my stop. So what's gonna happen is that the stop is gonna be closer and closer and closer. Every time he moves one tick, your stop moves too. So there's gonna be a time where he's gonna be so close that he wouldn't even be able to make this small pullback. Boom, you're out.
Too many ways to make money.
So then you set up your
Ways to
stop.
make money.
Let's say you put it on 30, whatever. You gotta find a stop that makes sense. You don't want to stop where you get caught every time. Also, like let's say, for example,
Talk money, talk money, talk money. That's
let's
it.
take this day. You don't want your stop to be on 13 because if he makes this, you're out. Then you can't make money. And if you find a number that he goes against you way too often, keep away yourself from that number. Okay, like you don't want to put a number that's gonna broke you, but put
That's
a
gonna
number
broke
that
you,
makes
huh?
sense. And you're gonna
Gonna
find
broke
that number when you make
And
all
damn, what
the
you wanna do?
back testing
You have no more money.
and
And you gotta back that more.
and you figured it out how
You
much
broke.
he goes against, and when he goes against you seriously, how much you will lose. Okay, like I don't know. When I found certain days where he drops like crazy,
So grateful, Gabriel.
and,
So grateful.
and you will lose a lot of money. So you want to put a, like, for example, if you would be long here, that's a serious drop on your trade. So there you find that
Steady hard, steady hard. Get your game up. Hustle, right?
there you find that
There you go,
70 is a crazy tick
There you go.
situation against you. So you want to get out
What
in
information
half of
you
the
need?
way and don't take any of this. And
Yeah.
so
Boom.
be careful and watch that. And
Boom.
you gotta go day by day. What I've used, and it's in the group, is I have an Excel where
Income,
I put
baby.
all the
Output
movements
gains
I find
income,
on the
baby.
daily.
Yeah.
So
What you
let's
putting out?
say
What you putting out? You get what
take
you
wheat
put out.
or
Yeah.
whatever. I go to every day and I put how it closed that day. If it closed on my favor, I put it here. If it closed against me, I put it here. But I also put the moves he made that day. Like the biggest move is whatever he made that day on me. Like for example, let me show you. Let's clean this. In this case, my from open to close, we said it was, or from open to signal, we say we lost that money. But what I found is a crazy movement inside that daily trading. So what I put is from open to close, he went against me 6 ticks from open to close, but I'm seeing he made a
It's
70 ticks
California
on me that day.
You will not notice how
So I put it on. I put it here. The biggest move in favor is 70, and the biggest movement against, I also put it so I can set up a stop loss that makes sense. So if you do that every day, I put all the movements he made. It takes a lot of time. Works for me. Well, I don't know if it works. But I can see it. So let's say this is your type of situation. I'm really looking at the time, so don't pay attention. He closed it on a 46 ticks on me, but he made a 63 ticks against me. Sorry, a big movement before. And let's say that he made a move where he wants, I don't know, 5 ticks against. I would put it there. Like, for example, here. Let's say this is your open and this is your close. Don't pay attention to the time. I'm not looking. So you made 26 ticks, but you see that he made, before that, he made 29 ticks. So 29 is biggest. Let's say you want here. you want those 29. Maybe you got a way to catch those 29, but he closed on 20. But we found that he made a crazy drop of 45 ticks. So if you set up a stop on 30, don't count on those 20 because you will be cut it out before. So one way to know if my jump is gonna be triggered, I just go candle by candle. And if my jump is on a 25 situation, you will be protected from that drop. So I say, okay, he won blah blah blah. He won 25, 29. On 20, my jump is triggered, blah blah blah. When he comes back, I'm protected from this. Boom. Maybe in this situation you're protected and you don't make those 20, and maybe that works for you. So here, for example, another open, he won 212 ticks on you. That's a 17 ticks on you. You probably don't have a jump there, so you will take this big loss there. So once you got all the data on your Excel here, you can picture a little bit better what he will do. Like I put the stops and start playing with them. For example, here there's a lot of situations where he closed against me, but he made some good ticks on me before. So I started to play with the jumps and I say, okay, but if I put a
Don't pay no
here,
bills, you hear me?
Losing,
All the love in the world, don't pay no bills.
43 ticks, I made 5 because he dropped.
I love you too, brother. I love you so much that I
First
gotta
of all,
tell you the
Excel
truth.
helps
Even
me
if
to
it's
see
fucking hurt,
if,
because it's what we do.
that strategy
Simple
makes
fucking
sense.
kill, right?
From
Get it in.
scratch. Like
It's good
if
for you.
got
It's good for you. I ain't
like
gonna
this
bullshit you.
situation
And I damn
where the
sure ain't gonna
overall
let you
tick
bullshit yourself.
without doing nothing is 1,000 on me and only 300 against. Like played from open to close. That's what my strategy is going right now. I think on wheat. Well, now he's losing. But if you put some jumps inside, you hurt those numbers and you don't let him be. But maybe you find some jumps that will make you, and the overall will make you, let's say 1,000, but you only lose 100 or whatever number. So once you got in here, you can quickly see if it's working. Okay, so for example, I'll show you Rise. Rise showed me that from open to close, he made 633 ticks, but he made 230 against. So
I need a break, clearly.
At the end of the month,
because I'm giving
at the end
myself a
of
break,
these
so
2
I'm giving
months,
myself a break. Guess what? Break time. Freaking break
no,
time.
at the end of the month, I will make
It's
like
time for a
400
break.
ticks on Rise. That's a lot of money. But then I found
these videos
that I could.
So let's do it. Take a break. All right. Let's see. All right. I want to snap into the wholesaling elite group, right? So we got Derek Blaney, you remember, who just sold his first house. He just sold my first deal. So a deal is in mid-transaction. He's waiting on his attorneys to hit him with an answer on how everything went and when it goes through. So
Other guys.
take the time to peep what it is about wholesaling homes that is successful. Bring your real estate investment business to the next level. A group of full-time elite wholesalers sharing tips and tricks. Let's find out. What tips and tricks can the wholesaler show me? I would love to know. I am desperate for more. Show me some. What's up? We got discussions. We got videos. Let's do this an hour-long video. Let's watch. Let's see what's up. I want in on the convo. I want in. What we talking about? We talking money? What it does?
And now we've got a flipping business where we flip houses as well. I actually got approached by HGTV to a TV show as well.
Whoa.
What's up?
I'm Black man out here with it.
So that's kind of where it is. So for me, when I said I was broke, I was seriously, I had a 2004 Volkswagen Jetta. It was gray with a 4-door standard stick, right? Stick in. And it had a bad starter. You guys know the starter, right? It started. So it's either it worked, sometimes it worked good, but I was in the car and you have to shake the car in order for the starter to start. Or you'll see me in the gym parking lot hitting on it with a hammer in the morning, 7:00 in the morning, to get it started. And I remember I had a Bank of America account, and I could overdraft it up to $500. Some of you guys know the limit of overdraft. I knew my limit, right? So everything I bought was an extra $35, right? $35, right? So I would take the gas card and I would fill my car up, and what happened is I would drive around the city and look for abandoned houses. And it's crazy how I learned about real estate, because what happened is I quit my job. I quit my job a year before that. I was in the marketing world. I quit my job to create an app. Put everything I had into the app, and guess what? It failed. It doesn't matter. That's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because it put me flat on my face at 30 years old and had to move back in with my mother. And then me and him was hanging out. And we went to his dad's house. And I knew his dad was in real estate. I knew him since 11 years old. Right? But you just never talk about certain things. So his dad was talking about, he said the word wholesale. Well, first he showed me $231,000 a month he got in rent checks. Shit. Can't do it, right? So I paid attention to what he said. His dad is a very stern guy. He's like a Green Beret, retired. He's like so he doesn't talk too much, but when he talks, you listen. So all he had to say was that he was doing wholesale. And that wasn't even his full business. And I left that meeting in his house at his basement. And I went home and I became truly obsessed with it. And I went from YouTube to podcasts. I stopped watching football. I no longer watch TV shows. I cut off everything in my house, my mom's house, except for the internet, right? And that was it. I went to the gym. I listened to podcasts, YouTube. I did not have a mentor, and I became completely obsessed. And overdrafted my car to go get that gas. I went in the neighborhood that I lived in when I first moved to North Carolina in 1993. And on the same street that I grew up on the corner of the house that had high grass and tall bushes, and it stood out to me, right? So after listening to podcasts and YouTube, I knew how to go look up the property on the tax assessment site. We all know how to do that, right? Yeah. So I did that. Googled the person, but actually I did that. Googled the person, they were dead end, right? No money. So I started researching about that and found the word probate. All right, now we all know what probate is. Probate is when somebody passes away and they got real property, right? Right. So I went down to the courthouse, and luckily in North Carolina, in the probate slip, it has the phone number of the person that's the administrator of the actual estate. So I said, all right, I'm back on. Good job. I get out there, I make the phone call. The lady picks up the phone. She says, you know what? I was actually thinking about selling this house. Hey, I don't know what to offer. She said, what are you offering? I said, 30,000. She said, let me call you back. My husband works over the road. I don't know what he did, but I'll call you back in a few days. 45 minutes, she called me back. She said, 40. Why? I said, I'll do 32 and pay the taxes. Right? It came out to about, but about whatever it was. It doesn't matter. I met her at a Waffle House. I remember the exact place on Salisbury, North Carolina. I met her at a Waffle House. I had no idea what it was. I printed off a one-page contract off of the internet, and I made $1 million with that contract. And when I showed my attorney, he was like, "Oh, I'm surprised you made any money with this." So don't get hung up on the small stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I signed that contract. I didn't get it notarized. I didn't know anything about getting things notarized. And then I went to the house. The back door was unlocked because it was a house that she had where it was a rental property. She inherited it. She no longer wanted to be a landlord. She ran into a friend. They tore it up. They never paid. They left. So I just called her at the right time. Okay? So after that, I go to the house. I start cleaning up the yard, cutting the grass, and I hedged the bushes, and I took a picture, and I put it on Facebook Marketplace. Literally in 20 minutes, people drove up.
Let's run it back.
That
Run
was
it
it. I
back.
went to the gym.
Run it
I
back.
listened to podcasts, YouTube. I did not have a mentor when I became.
Hey, we're gonna take a break. This is the Billion live stream. It is ended for now. We're gonna dip in
I went
to
to
what
the
we got going
first
with-
North Carolina in 1993.
Let me look
And
him
on
up.
the
Let me look
same
him up because I've
street
watched
that I
him
grew up
several
on
times
corner
before.
of the house
Shouts out to
that had
Roberto
dry grass,
Davis, the bass, Davis.
right? So
That
after
ass.
we listen to podcasts and YouTube,
Kazoo.
I knew how to go look up the problems.
Kazoo.
We all know how to do that, right?
Much love and respect to the
So I
family.
did that. Google the
I have to
person.
be able
Well,
to
actually, I
express
did that.
myself
Google
freely.
the person, they were dead.
Let you know how much
Dead
you
end,
mean
right?
to me.
No money.
So let's
I
not
started
get into
researching about that. Found the word
wholesaling house elites.
probate. Right now, we all know
It's a
probate.
closed
Probate
group.
is about your
So if
master's
you
right,
are
they
serious
have to
about
file,
investing
right?
in real estate,
So
make
I went
sure
down
you
to
give
the
me a
courthouse
shout
in
out
Luckily,
at Know
North Carolina.
Yourself,
In the probate slip,
which
it
is
has the phone number of the
replaced with
person that's the
KYS
administrator
space
of the actual
VIP.
estate. So I said, all right, I'm back on. Good job. I get out there, I make the phone call. The lady picks up the phone. She says, you know what? I was actually thinking about selling this house. Hey, I don't know what to offer. She said, what are you offering? I said, 30,000. She's like, nah. She said, let me call you back. My husband works over the road. He's I don't know what he did, but I'll call you back in a few days. 45 minutes, she called me back. She says, we can do 40. I said, I'll do 32 and pay the taxes. Right? It came out to about, I forgot what it was, but about whatever it was. It doesn't matter. What happened is I would drive around the city and look for abandoned houses. And it's crazy how I learned about real estate because what happened is I quit my job. I quit my